Next up on the grading is Hart's team, Suck Mike Ditka. Now, I thought this team really started out drafting well. We got Jamal Charles as a keeper, who's still coming back from injury, but what he can do, you got to try to take the risk there. But then you grab Devontae Freeman in the first pick. That's a solid pick. He's going to be the number one guy there. Tevin Coleman might take some more carries from him this year if he stays healthy, doesn't fall down in the shower and give himself a concussion like last year. I think that he's not going to have as much of a year, but it might help him, spreading out the carries a little bit more, get more of his explosive plays. Then you got Ashawn Jeffries, who's, a solid number one for you, barring him getting hurt too. But I think that he'll stay healthy this year and he'll have a good year because the Bears will be behind in a lot of games, so he'll need to catch a lot of balls. Jordan Reed was a little bit early on the tight end, but once again, if you want him and you know what he can do, he can be a stud for you, so there's no big deal there. And you got Emmanuel Sanders, who, with the quarterback situation, he'll probably have a little bit of a down year. I think there could have been some more, better guys out there at that point in time, but you take with what you can get. And then it looks like Hart joined the draft and then started with Tom Brady, who's out 4 games. That early with where quarterbacks were going in this year's draft, I think he could have got him 2 rounds later, especially with the Colts fans not really wanting Brady, some of them, especially though the four-game suspension. You're missing 4 games of production, so what are you going to do with that? Then Cardinals defense, one of the first defenses off the board really early. Defenses can make or break you, but man, there's so much more talent that was out there at that point in time when your current wide receivers are Jeffries and Sanders. I think you should have waited and went for something a little bit more helping your team as a defense, because that defense could have been there in 2 more rounds. Amir Abdullah, I like where the pick was with the running back as far as that goes. I think that he's going to be pretty explosive in that offense. And Devontae Parker, that's kind of where Devontae Parker was going, but he has not played well. He's been hurt and banged up all year. He's still a guy that nobody knows what's going to happen. Is he going to take some of those catches from Jarvis Landry? I don't know. I think that he's going to be kind of a 3 catch for 60 yards and maybe a touchdown, and then he'll have 1 catch for 5 yards going from week to week. You don't really know with what he has. Tavon Austin, I like Tavon Austin this year. He had a lot of touchdowns. It seems like they're using him a lot more. They just gave him a lot of money, so they want to keep him relevant. And then I like what you did with grabbing Tevin Coleman. You covered your backfield there with the Atlanta Falcons, and some weeks you might even be able to start both of them. Tyrod Taylor, I think the first 4 weeks, that's a good pickup with Tom Brady. But once again, I think you still could have got Tom Brady 2 rounds later, and it would have been beneficial there. Spencer Ware, once again, you covered your back with Jamal Charles, so that's pretty great. And then Jerick McKinnon, in case AP goes down, which he's not going to, that's beneficial as well. Then you grab Dion Lewis. He's out 10 weeks. Yeah, put him on the IR, but you could have not drafted him and grabbed somebody else. That pick to me, it's worthless. There's no reason for that. But regarding, everything said and done, your wide receiving core is going to be the weakness on this team. With Devontae Parker, Tavon Austin as your 3rd, and Emmanuel Sanders is a very, very weak 2nd. I wouldn't even put him as a 2nd overall wide receiver. He's definitely probably a 3rd to 4th wide receiver starter, but that's going to hurt you a little bit. But hopefully with the strength of your running game, that's going to help you out. And then when Brady's back, getting some extra points from the QB position, or maybe Tyrod plays well this year and keeps the running game going. All in all, the team's strong in areas weak and wide receiver. I'd give you about a B-. I think that the running back strength overall is going to benefit you, and because you covered your back with getting Ware and Tevin Coleman, you really set your running backs up at least to be well. And then, like I said, you got Amir Abdullah as a bye-week guy. Maybe that's a guy, if he comes out and starts playing really well, you can use him to strengthen up your wide receiving core. But let's be serious. Nobody in this league ever trades, so you're not going to get anybody that's on the team. They're going to sit tight on them, and that's all you're going to get. So, like I said, B-. I think it could have been better if you would have waited on Tom Brady. Probably got a little bit more strength at the wide receiver position. But overall, I think the running backs are going to carry you this year. You'll probably be a playoff team. It all just depends on how Emmanuel Sanders plays in that offense, really.